Hello and welcome to another edition of Paranormal Activity and Mysterious Stories. This video is going to be a little bit different from my usual videos. I'm going to stick to one subject on this one, but it's because this one subject really has a lot to offer. This article talks about a lawsuit that reveals that the NSA received 29 extraterrestrial messages from space a long time ago. Now, this article actually talks about the Arecibo message that was received, and then some other messages that our military leaders discussed having received from some unknown part of space. But what I want to do is I want to concentrate on these messages, this Arecibo message that we sent out, and then the response that we received back. So let me just get started here. The picture above represents a broadcast known as the Arecibo message, put together by Carl Sagan and colleagues, that was sent into space via radio waves at a special ceremony to celebrate the remodeling of the Arecibo radio telescope in Puerto Rico. Apparently, they received a response. You can read more about that story here. It's speculative for sure, but the information below is not. This article pertains to real documents. Now, this is the message that was sent. Strange signals detected from outer space are becoming quite popular, especially within the past couple of years alone. Here's one of several studies positing that some of these signals could be from an intelligent extraterrestrial source. Scientists have discovered 6 more bursts of radio signals coming from a place in deep space outside our galaxy, from where similar signals were detected earlier this year and in 2012. From this specific location, a total of 17 such radio signals have been received, and given their nature, there is also heavy speculation about whether we are being contacted by some type of extraterrestrial life forms. You can read more about that here. Now, I'm going to leave a link to this article because, like I said, they get into here like this document here is titled Key to the Extraterrestrial Messages by a gentleman named H. Campaign. He attempts to decode the messages. It states, Dr. Campaign, I don't know how to say that properly, presented a series of 29 messages from outer space. The following article develops a key to these messages. And it says here, recently a series of radio messages was heard coming from outer space. The transmission was not continuous, but cut by pauses into pieces which could be taken as units, for they were repeated over and over again. Towards the end of the document, the author states that we have penetrated the meaning of basic symbols and, even more important, have learned some of the syntax rules of the notation and have caught mistakes in the process. We have a few words for sophisticated concepts, and given more data, with a little labor, we could establish its translation. But like I said, the rest of this article just gets into the fact that our military leaders were discussing messages that we received. But I want to concentrate on this Arecibo message. Now, this is what we sent out. Let me give you a quick information about this. November 16th, 1974, from the SETI's Arecibo radio telescope was transmitted the first radio message from mankind to a possible alien civilization, written by Frank Drake with the help of Carl Sagan and others. Directed to the globular star cluster M13, 25,000 light years away, the message, broadcast in less than 3 minutes, consisted of 1,679 binary units, which can be arranged rectangularly as 73 rows by 23 columns, containing some basic information, the Drake's cryptogram. Since an extremely narrow frequency band was used to send it, it is highly unlikely that before 250 centuries have passed, the message may even come close to any solar system. Now, I think it's interesting how this author doesn't think that we would get a response, but in reality, only after 27 years we actually got an answer. Now, the first response we got was this one here. This appeared in August of 2000. Let me see if I can find the information about this one. Okay, now, the 2000 Chilbolton circle formation. In 2000, a symmetric pattern of multiple interlocking circles appeared at Chilbolton. See photograph below. Some thought it was merely crop graffiti, but in light of the possible interpretations of the Chilbolton Code, it may be important to observe that in the same place where the Arecibo signal had a representation of the instrument we use to broadcast the signal, the Chilbolton pattern has a simplified binary representation of something that has similar characteristics to this 2000 formation. Now, what we sent them was this here. This is what we sent out. You see the first row, numbers, here atomic numbers of elements, formulas for the sugars and bases in nucleotides of DNA. We have the number of nucleotides in DNA, double helix structure of the DNA. Here we have the shape of a human being, height of a human being, and then here, this is the dish of the Arecibo telescope transmitting the message. Here is the Arecibo telescope, right? So now the response that we got, the first response that we got was this image here, this crop circle here. Now, according to this guy, earlier this year, I viewed a lecture by Nassim Harriman on YouTube in which he briefly discussed the Arecibo reply and the 2000 Chilbolton formation. I would soon learn that there were a total of 3 formations spread out over 3 years, but mostly I was fascinated with the 2000 circle. I started to work trying to decipher the message. Most of my efforts have been focused on the 2000 glyph, which seems to be at the heart of the entire series, and that is what I will mostly be covering here. Unfortunately, all I have is a very close approximation because the material needed to produce an exact replica does not exist. Now, like I said, we sent them this, right down here is what we believe, or what we sent the Arecibo. And the response that we got from them was this image here. You can see in place of, what we used to broadcast is this here. And you can see here, in place of where the human was, is this creature. And in place of a representation of our solar system is what they believe is a representation of this species' solar system. Now, this guy here, like I said, he believes this is a representation of what was used to broadcast the signal. And that's what he's going into here, because according to this guy, there was a series of 3 different glyphs or 3 different crop circles that were found over 3 years that he believes is a representation or a model for the device that they used to send this signal. Now, what also I found interesting here is this article here in the Independent, Arecibo message, what happened when people claimed aliens contacted them and why we might never want to. When the Arecibo message was sent into space in 1974, blasting the most powerful signal ever broadcast deep into the universe, it was a pioneering attempt to reach out to aliens wherever they might be. When a response came back in 2001, it was a hoax that showed just how much some people hope we can actually communicate with extraterrestrials. But that fake reply might actually be the message we ever get back from aliens. Now, 20 years ago, if I read this, that it was a hoax, I would have accepted it. I would have read that. I would have stopped reading the rest of the article most likely and just accepted the fact that somebody claimed that these messages were a hoax. But, I've at my age now, I've learned to be a little more skeptical of of today's form of journalism, because for a journalist to make this statement that it's a hoax, a general statement with a hoax without really backing it up, well, why is it a hoax? How did you determine that it was a hoax? Because let me show you Chilbolton. This is the observatory. This is a science and technology facility in the UK, right? And let me show you where it's, yeah, here's a photo of this facility, and let me show you where it's at on Google Maps. So here is the facility here, and we back out, right? It's all farmland out here. And now, if we look at this photo here, right, here's the parking lot, here's this building, and here's the telescope, or the receiver, right? And if we look at this photo here, at this crop circle, right, here's the receiver. Here is the building, and here's the parking lot. So if we go to this Google Maps, we can see that this is where that fractal crop formation would have been located, right here, right? Now again, if we back out, for this to have been a hoax, someone would have had to been on the ground, whether it's one person or a group of people. I imagine it would be a group of people, but where would they park? Or even if they did park, you're telling me no one noticed them? No one in this little community, that a group of people were able to park their cars, bring whatever equipment was necessary to create those crop circles, and spend a couple hours in some farmer's crop field, destroying some farmer's crop, and then for it to happen over a series of years. Because this one here appeared in 2000, and then a year later, this appeared. Oh, I think I just closed. Yeah, in 2001, this face appeared with this crop circle here, or this glyph here, and then in 2002, this one appeared. An alien holding a disc. And people have deciphered this. This is a ASCII code here, and the message that it says, let me see here. It says, "Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe there is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing." Like I said, that's what this says. Now look at the size of this thing. Okay, this, took place in here, right in here. This is Chilbolton. It is a science and technology facility. And I'm going to imagine that a science and technology facility most likely has security. Either they have security cameras, or they most likely have a security guard on the facility, because I couldn't imagine a sensitive facility like this wouldn't have that. So, right, if this was a fake, this author here needs to explain how this was a hoax, how somebody or a group of people were able to spend hours on this on this site here without being detected. And again, I'm finding out based on, let's see, this one here, that these events happen over a series of years. Actually, the first one happened in 1999. This one, in 1999, a beautiful crystalline shape was found in the Chilbolton field. An artist's rendition of it appears on the left. So that appeared first, and then this appeared. And then in 2001, the Chilbolton face, August 13th. Actually here, a week before the Chilbolton code formation appeared, an eerie face appeared in the field, not far from where the code was to appear. And they're saying that, this face is very, very similar to the face on Mars. That I find kind of strange. And then in 2001, the Chilbolton Cold Formation. Like I said, you know, this was what we sent out, and this was what we received back. But anyways, I will leave a link to all of these pages in the description. Tell me what you think. You know, I'd love to hear people's responses in the comments, but that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.